Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Iosif Itkin. I'm a part of Exactpro's management team. At Exactpro, we build software to test software. Do check out our website exactpro.com if you would like to learn more about us. You can also subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button to make sure that you don't miss the new videos. Thank you. Today I'll talk about software testing outsourcing. Exactpro was founded in 2009 on 9th of September, International Software Testers Day. We provide managed software testing services for exchanges and clearinghouses in 20 countries on 6 continents. With regulatory requirements and business pressures putting an ever-tightening squeeze on financial services, firms tend to look at the most efficient ways of ensuring quality and stability of their platforms, with some turning to quality assurance outsourcing. But is it a good thing? Software testing for mission-critical market infrastructures is our core business, so obviously I am biased on the subject. Still, there are 4 key reasons not to outsource software testing. They are responsibility, capability, agility, and quality. Financial Conduct Authority states that a regulated entity must not delegate responsibility while outsourcing critical or important operational functions or relevant services and activities. The quality of software systems and platforms underpinning financial market infrastructure operations and services is certainly important and arguably critical. Therefore, it is a regulatory directive that quality assurance must not be delegated. Capability. To stay competitive, any company must be technology focused. No company would want its core competency to be building low quality products, so quality assurance is not a peripheral function. Software testing cannot be viewed as an auxiliary activity for capable, competitive firm. Agility. Relying on external vendors could hinder the flow of information necessary for companies focused on reducing time to market and undergoing agile transformations. Flexible software development and acceptance testing methods require synchronization among all team members, which can become difficult when outsourcing because the teams are divided by firewalls, time zones, distances, and cultures. Quality. Quality cannot be tested into a product. Firms focused on quality work on holistic approaches to software development, continuously analyze testing outcome, measure attributes related to product quality, and invest in improving risk management tools with the aim to prevent rather than cure. Quality is everyone's responsibility, as another old saying goes. Why would anyone want to rip out an integral part of the intertwined quality puzzle by outsourcing software testing? Exemplary organizations take their regulatory responsibilities and technology capabilities very seriously. They relentlessly strive to achieve quality and agility in their delivery. So surely the case for do-it-yourself software testing is watertight. But true software testing is not there to confirm perfection. Software testing exists to uncover something that somebody does not want to exist. It is about providing objective information about the system under test in a form beneficial for the stakeholder. To paraphrase James Madison, one of the founding fathers of the US, if companies were angels, independent software testing would be unnecessary. If angels were to develop software, neither external nor internal controls would be necessary. Software testing, if independent, does not set managers free from their responsibility. Rather, it pressures them towards higher levels of regulatory compliance. Leo Tolstoy wrote in Anna Karenina, "Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way." He meant that in order for a family to be happy, it must succeed with respect to a specific range of criteria, and failure on any single count leads to unhappiness. Similarly, to be successful, all production systems must work well within a narrow range of criteria that assures their users and stakeholders satisfaction. In order to consistently reach that benchmark, it is of paramount importance for a technology firm to have a strong in-house capability to build, check, and monitor systems to ensure that the family stays happy. Software testing is focused on exploring the darker side of systems. Research confirms that developers are less likely to deploy advanced software testing techniques, such as passive testing, in part due to the congruence bias. For example, over-reliance on proving a specific hypothesis that directly results in neglect of indirect testing. Thus, leaving software testing to developers or cross-functional teams could mean prioritizing the component level and happy path checking over proper risk assessment of the interconnected system as a whole. Fundamentally, biases are not the enemy because they exist for a reason: to increase efficiency. Superiority requires focus, and a good strategy always requires making a choice. In this particular case, it is whether to prioritize improving the core product versus building a sophisticated test harness. The creation of a test harness is the core capability of an independent software testing business, so it doesn't make sense to hire smart testers and then tell them what to do. By the same token, outsourcing does not guarantee software testers unbiased independence. Many articles have been written about cross-functional, self-organizing teams and confining software testing to sprint. Genuine agility is anti-fragile. Iterative processes considerably benefit from prompt, independent feedback. In implementations that are agile in name only, there will always be a way to blame inefficiency on faulty communication. Reliable systems are not built on trust. Rather, they are built on the absence of trust, which is why independent software testing is fundamental to well-functioning financial firms, similar to the importance of free press to well-functioning democratic systems. Independent testing alone is not enough to achieve quality, especially when introduced at a late stage of software delivery. The best way to limit the total cost of the project is to incorporate independent testers into self-organizing teams as observers and contributors, so they can detect problems as soon as possible, whether the issue is a software defect or a process deficiency. It is never too late to embrace reality and to deal with it. If outsourcing software testing is a necessary evil, the shame of delegation reflects a gap between the status quo and the ideal world. Software testing for technology is the same as capitalism for our society. You can imagine an ideal world without possessions, greed, or hunger, but when you actually try to build it, the dream always turns into a dystopian nightmare. Relying on outsourcing is not perfect. However, if applied properly, outsourced testing can at least create awareness that a gap exists and possibly help to narrow it. Knowing about our flaws makes us better people and helps us to produce better software. Rejecting the knowledge or covering the truth always have dire consequences. This concludes today's video. Feel free to give us thumbs up if you like it. We do have a lot more interesting content for you, so don't hesitate to subscribe to Exactpro channel. We'll review a ton more quality assurance and software development issues in the upcoming weeks. Remember to hit the bell button to be the first to see the new content. Thank you, and see you again soon.